I found this in my grandfather's World War II mementos. He was stationed in Saipan. It's a piece of paper with planes on it and some Japanese writings. I'm posting from my phone and can't figure out how to add a photo of the back. But the back is covered in Japanese writing as well. I'm wondering if it was a propaganda. Any ideas? It's the LeMay bombing leaflet. Shortly before the US dropped 2 atomic bombs on Japan, the United States showered the Japanese cities of Nagasaki, Hiroshima, and 33 other potential targets with over 5 million leaflets, warning civilians of the impending attack. There were many versions of the leaflets dropped. Some listed specific cities, and some did not. This was the most famous one, depicting a squadron of B-29s laying waste to a city with firebombs. An American-controlled radio station on Saipan was broadcasting a similar message to the Japanese people every 15 minutes. 5 days after the flyers were distributed, Hiroshima was destroyed by the Little Boy atomic device. Following the first attack, the US Air Force dropped even more leaflets. 3 days after Hiroshima, the Fat Man bomb was dropped on Nagasaki. The distribution of these leaflets, along with the radio broadcasts, does put a dent in the argument that America was unconcerned about the potential civilian deaths as a result of an atomic attack. But the debate over the bomb's necessity in ending the war will never be truly resolved. Also interestingly, one of the original potential bomb sites was the Japanese Emperor's Palace, but it was scratched from the list due to its cultural significance. What is this wood and metal pincer-like object? I have no idea what this thing is. I found it in my grandfather's effects. His father was a carpenter, so perhaps made by him or for carpentry. It's made of painted wood and flexible metal. It can be squeezed together easily. Any ideas? They are laundry tongs, used to pull very hot laundry from a boiler to wring and rinse it. We used to have a pair when I was growing up in the 60s. That's why the wood has a bleached look at the bottom end. The very hot soapy water made the wood pale and smooth. I found this table in my recently deceased grandfather's house. None of my remaining family have seen it before. Any idea what it is? It's a Burmese side table from the late 1800s, with hand-carved elephant legs and ivory tusks. These were also made and copied in Thailand to sell to the US troops during the Vietnam War, and afterward to tourists. The troops would get free shipping of stuff back to the US, so these things were nice since they were cheap. I found this very ornate thing in my grandfather's house. The narrow end is not sharp and does not spin. People are calling it the base of a lamp, but it's actually rounded like a doorknob and has initials on it. It's almost more like part of a cane, but much too short, and has the metal knife-looking thing at the bottom, but it's not sharp. I think there might be another part missing that covers the narrow end. Any ideas? It's a Victorian parasol or umbrella handle. The metal knife must be the retaining latch for the umbrella. Parasols were very much peaked in popularity in the Victorian era, when they were seen as status symbols and indications of a sense of style. Their stated purpose was to protect delicate skin from the ravages of the sun, and their unspoken purpose was a secret tool for flirtation. What is this steel handle and claw with a spring found in the attic of my 1890s farmhouse near Grand Rapids, Michigan? About 1 pound, the handle and claw ends are connected via a rod that does not spin because it is pinned in place. The attic is an unused area for mechanicals, so it was probably put there intentionally. The embossed writing on the handle reads Pat, July, and 1887. I believe the house was owned or built by a fairly prominent and wealthy individual or family. Any information would be great. Thank you. I did some digging and found the patent for a device for hitching animals. Patented in Grand Rapids by William Clark on July 19, 1887. It says, "My purpose has been to make a device which is small in bulk, light in weight, and that can be cheaply manufactured, by which teams can be hitched to sidewalks, fences, and other light constructions having apertures in or crevices between the boards or planks." What is this old helmet I got from my grandfather before he passed? I got it a few years back and just dug it out of storage. I can't find anything about it online, and the only marks are for a company called Gentex. I want to use it for a project, but would rather buy a replacement to keep this one in one piece. Any ideas? It's a Gentex tank helmet. Gentex did produce them at least since the Vietnam War in the early 1970s. The two-piece skull and brow guard is to protect your head from hitting anything in the tank. It came equipped with an ambient noise pickup which allows conversation while it is being worn but protects the user from sudden noise. What is this machine I found when cleaning out my grandfather's house? It's very old and incredibly heavy. He was an engineer. He built the entire attachment on their house by himself. Does anyone have an idea? It's an antique Van Burkel meat slicer from circa 1910. It was invented in the 1890s by Wilhelmus Adrianus van Burkel of the Netherlands. He decided to combine his passion for mechanics with his work as a butcher, developing a system for slicing meat that included a mechanical device that could facilitate the work of butchers, providing more uniform cuts in terms of slice size and thickness. Van Burkel managed to build a brilliant device inside his butcher shop. It combined a large circular and concave blade with a large flywheel that was operated by hand and a mobile cart that automatically advanced toward the blade. In October of 1898 in Rotterdam, the Van Burkel Trading Company was founded, and the first factory for the production of flywheel slicers started its activity. When the advantages were evident, Burkel slicing machines were soon recognized as valid instruments and spread all over the world. I found this weird belt buckle in my uncle's house after he passed away, but I have no clue what the design is depicting. On the back, there's a spot that looks like the hook for the belt hole, and a slot to put the belt into. There's an inscription on that says Odin, but I can't find anything anywhere that resembles this. Does anyone have any ideas? It's a plaque on the Pioneer spacecraft. The original craftsman of the plaque seems to do runs of it, so maybe this is something he did. These were placed on board the 1972 Pioneer 10 and 1973 Pioneer 11 spacecraft, featuring a pictorial message in case either Pioneer 10 or 11 is intercepted by intelligent extraterrestrial life. The plaques show the nude figures of a human male and female, along with several symbols that are designed to provide information about the origin of the spacecraft. These plaques were attached to the spacecraft's antenna support struts in a position that would shield them from erosion by interstellar dust. What is this terracotta object in an Airbnb near Atlanta? It looks old and measures 16 inches at its widest and 20 inches tall. Does anyone know what specifically it is called? Please tell us down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.